Welcome into our round wrap. We're going to go through the last 3 games of the week. Fantasy tip of this week as well. Magic Round was crazy for points scored, and you see Carraz here with 102. You saw, both Vermore with a double. Preston scored a try, set up one as well. That was beautiful. You saw Stephen Crichton dominate, kind of Tracy there. Some big, really big scores due to the fast track, the lack of, stoppages, errors, just the ability for the ball to stay in play and the ability just to put on points in general. So outside backs really benefited this week. So I think really just need to be aware that they're not all going to be played at Suncorp now, heading into round 10, and we're likely to see it go back to somewhat normalcy with outside backs unlikely to continue absolutely crushing. Like you're looking here at, Drinky, Teddy, Carraz, all these kind of guys that just absolutely smashed it this week. Fletcher Sharp. Even Greg Marzou had a pretty rough game with carrying injury and whatever else, and he managed to score really well also at 55. So it's likely to change back. Now, speaking of Carraz, this was tough viewing as a non-owner. Thankfully, I do have him in Supercoach, but that could have been a mess. I think if I didn't, I probably would have bought him in fantasy anyway, just to have someone, to have him in that game at least somewhere to enjoy it. But 3 tries, the try assist, 14 tackle breaks, 3 offloads, 228 run meters. He was absolutely everywhere. And to be fair, they put no one in front of him either. And he was a menace in the air. So just an all-round perfect game. And he puts himself right into calculations for Origin. And if, Lomax doesn't come back, fully fit, or we see him come back in for one game in round 11 or something like that, then I do think that Carraz has a chance to make it, and he does deserve it because he's a spectacular player. But will he actually get that spot? I think you can maybe bank that it's like a 70% chance he doesn't at this point when, they could have Tommy in the centres, they could play Critter on the wing, and, there's a few different ways they can go about it. And Stephen, Crichton was awesome in this game as well with his 68. Tino for 73 just worked his butt off there. 58 pure base, 4 tackle breaks, 3 offloads, only 2 misses, was great. If any owners of him, mainly it seems to be Supercoach and Dream Team, but shout out to him on that one. Preston with the sin bin just slowed him down a little bit, but a spectacular game for him with a try assist, with the try. And what about that 3-game suspension? Looks like he's pleading not guilty, and he will go to the judiciary, and we'll see tomorrow. It's always on Tuesday night when they go and see those guys and have that fun one. And I love always, checking it out on NRL.com where they show the transcript of how it's going live, and we can see how it all pans out. And the problem, I think, with him getting more weeks for it was because he's had some issues in the last few years with, sweeping tackles and different things like that. So, see how he goes. Hopefully it's all good. If it's not, then unfortunately 4 weeks and he'd be a sell. So that would be really, really painful just because he's going so well. And he's up 91k, averaging 60 now. But there are plenty of guys that you can pivot to. And Beau Fermor is one of those guys. 68 with a double in this one. To be fair, he had that one drop that was a pretty soft one. It had 2 errors in the end, but one just passed it to him. But he was by far their best player with Tino, and it showed in this one. Good base stat numbers and the 2 tries for him. 68 if you jumped on, then you picked up another 50k in gains, and he's back flying again. What about the ups and downs of the Beau Fermor season? If you held him from round 1 and all the way through this, and you've been very pleased, after having those, or buying him in round 3 for the low scores, round 4, whatever it was, and then getting the spoils on the other end. So well done to you guys. Connor Tracy, really impressive, 266 meters. Fodawaker with his best game of the year, base stat wise, was good for him. Reid Marnie with a try, back for the 80 minutes after the 40 odd last week, with Hayward going to 6. So be aware of that he could go back to lower minutes next week. Kick out with 38, just going back to some normalcy for him, fantasy scoring wise, without the attacking stats. And then Maxi King, after that mammoth few games, has gone back to 43 minutes. So that one is tough, especially with a lot of outs here. Maybe they just felt they didn't need to overextend him, given the opposition, to be fair. And 43 minutes, but that's really, really tough for anyone who does own. You need that to go back to bigger minutes and a better score next week. Brimson, he's done. Just so gross viewing, and he seems to be in first contact a lot, and he gets bumped off, like pushed further back. Like he kind of does a job, he gets bumped off, and the two guys either side of him come in and finish the job, and the player's not usually making any extra real meters from that. He did end up kicking for 438 meters in there, so for him to take over that role for a lot of it, with De Groot kicking a bit, but taking a fair bit of the kicking around the in goal and in good ball. Like the amount of times every game it happens, like 25 times to say. 2, 3, it's going to be more than 25. 2, 3 plays a set. He's just standing right behind to play the ball. And it's not like he's going for a trick play or anything, like they go, oh, which side is he going to pop out? He's just chilling. And it's disgusting viewing. He'll be out of my side this week. Simple as that. I'd rather hold like Stafford Toa or anything like that over Brimson at the moment. It's doing my head in. At least Stafford, when he gets good ball, it's fun. We'll have to see what's happening with Horse. We'll see what's happening with Mamazelis and these types of guys, but it's just, it's rough. When you're relying on Brimson just to be a 30 tackler and get a couple of turnover tackles, which is what we saw the week before, and what we saw in that week, he got 59 and stuff like that. It's just, it's a no. It's a no from me. AKP with the runaway try for 13 points. 8 missed tackles on the great Jacob Kiraz. And a tough one for Randall with the sin bin, along with Kelly, 8 apiece they got. And I think Weaver was on, I think I had him on 8, but he's on 7. Let's just say he was on more points than what Brimson was in like 30 minutes, and he played 4. So that was nice to see. Now for the Panthers side of things, 32-8 victors, and how beautiful was that try from Cleary? Literally as soon as it happened, I was like, oh, that is grand final pain right there. And 97 for him in the end with 2 line breaks, the try assist, the try. Good tackle numbers again, back to just the 1 miss, and expect what you expect from him with kick meters and the run meters as well. So just an overall great game, and gone 290s in the last 3 weeks, which is awesome, and 55k in gains, back up to 830, and she'll continue going in that direction with hopefully some good performances from the Panthers from here on in. Some good scorers up top. Payne Haas 88, 38 tackles, no miss, almost 200 meters, 11 tackle breaks, no negatives again. What a freak. And 2 forced dropouts. What about him running on that edge and then coming in to make tackles as well, like just being the first man to the ball, to whoever's carrying the ball there, and forcing him back? That was just impressive. And averaging 77 now, and the people that don't own Payne Haas now are losing, because he's continuing up closer to this 77 since we bought him now, which is great. So back-to-back huge scores, and if you captain in both those weeks, you actually come out ahead of those that captained Terrell May in both weeks. So good work there. What about Jenko just coming in hot in that second half with 2 tries and 3 line breaks there, making 12 tackles as well. This is back to some of the work we saw in that first couple of games with those base stats, the good run meters, and it's just justice. It's how it works, isn't it? You sell Toya, you sell Jenkins. Like some people probably sell both this week. Some people held both and played both as well. So the luck comes and goes. Like maybe you held Jenkins for 70, but you had Sanders Smith for the -2. Like so many different things happen in this game, and we get unlucky at certain times, and there wasn't really any signs of the Panthers improving, and Jenko getting all this good ball out on the left. Shout out to Garner for being a legend and actually passing the ball, and that was the big change with Casey McLean not in the side. So it becomes a pretty easy hold down Jenko. Same with Toya. One more week for Jenko. See how he goes. Do we see To'o back as well? We need to see To'o back before Origin as well. Carrigan 68 and 72, just a freak. 67 in base. It was crazy. Garner, as I said, put in that good work for Jenko there. Shout out to you, Patea, 56 in 28. That is very impressive. Cobbo ended up 55. He's a good runner of the footy, but the way that Cleary just worked him over for 40-20s and close to it, and just got him tired, and that 40-20 was just a game changer. That's one thing we didn't mention there with Cleary when we went through his stats there, but that was awesome. Just to pinpoint that as an important tactic for them, with Cobbo not being as fast as Walsh, and maybe not as fit, although Walsh has his moments as well. Just to utilise that and keep peppering that side, and that was the difference in this game. It was Cleary versus Reynolds, and their kicking game with Reynolds kicking twice out in the full. So Cobbo's 55. If you did buy him last week, you've got a nice benefit here with the 55 and a line break in there as well. Reynolds 51, Shiba the same. Just really good efforts from them in a losing side to outdo Isaiah Yeo. Yeah, it's a pretty good effort there, and Shiba, kind of anyone who sold the last few weeks, he continues to make cash and do a good job. So anyone holding on, well done to you. Isaiah Yeo, I didn't even notice Piakura got 50. Holy, he's back, baby. And he ended up playing the full 80 with Jordan Ricky on the bench. So that's very, very impressive there. And Isaiah getting 50. So that hurts the soul. The 827k guy gets the same as the 240k guy, who has not shown a good score in a long time. So 38 tackles, 4 misses, not too bad. 106 run meters when you've got Yo on the other side making 39 tackles and 139 meters without the turnover tackles. So Yo is a tough one. I think we're definitely selling in round 11 just with the way it's playing out. His lack of ability to go really big at the moment in a team that has been struggling for them. It did improve for him here, and the team, I should say, but he did need to be the focal point in attack like he has been in other weeks. Isaac Tungo, 37, a nice try there. That chip from Cleary was beautiful. He's definitely playing better. 424k. He was 401 before this week. It was pretty crazy. Don't know if you can target him or not. Probably feels a bit gross. Isaiah Papali'i to go full 80 and get 36 points in a win. It's just crazy. He's down 100k for the year, 522k. He got his opportunity to play the big minutes and didn't take it at all. So we just avoid IPAP for the rest of the year. We'll have to find out what's happening with Edwards. He did go off in the last few minutes there. People saying hamstring, 27 points, gross. It's really sad for anyone who does own. I know Matty T is in that boat, and I feel for him there, because he came out and got that 70 odd, and then he's been pretty low, and he's had a rough year there, 44.5 compared to the 50s from last year. If he's injured, definitely sell, and he's probably looking like a sell anyway. So do you go 1 week early, or do you wait there, given they've got Cowboys next week, I think? Yeah, Cowboys next week. So he could hold, he could sell. I think either way, he's fine with Dill on that one. I almost said Dill bags. Yeah, Ricky's getting cheaper off the bench. How that one's played out. Blaze Salangi 24. Willison only 40 minutes in the end after a really good game last week. So it's hard to pick sometimes. So 20 in the 41 minutes for Xavier with Piakura going the distance. And then for this Storm Raiders clash, we did see a few decent point scorers here, but not as many 50-plus guys as we saw in other games. But I want to give a big shout out to my boy Matty Nicholson for 63 in the 85 minutes there. 42 tackles, no misses, couple offloads, couple of TBs, couple of line break assists as well. He's been awesome and averaging 57.6 since he come into the game, and he will continue going up over the next bit in price, and I'm very happy to have bought him at that 500k mark. And it probably wasn't expected that he was going to be the guy that just clearly continues playing the full game, and he's utilising his opportunity really well, and I'm very happy to be owner. It's one of my winning plays this season so far. And Joe Tarpany is a big watch, big buy to get. 43 tackles, 2 misses, a line break, offloads in his game as well. So he's got the full package. This one, had a little bit of on the attack side with that one line break, but 50 odd in base outside of that line break there, and you're paying upwards of 50, a 55, 56, 57 price from him, for him, but he is absolutely delivering and averaging 60.6 this year in a team that's going really, really well. And when that's the case, he's going to get his offloads, he's going to get the odd attacking stat because he's so good. So that was really good to see from him when we are looking to buy mids at the moment, especially with Horsburgh. Unsure if he was Cat 1 or yet not. Cat 1 or yet or not. Yeah. find out hopefully tonight. I only just got home from work, so I'll check that out as we go. Eli Katoa, 72. That was very impressive with 3 offloads there. 51 tackles, so putting in that work without having the crazy misses was good. Farlongo, 62. He's coming pretty good on that wing there. But for them to lose this game as well, a shout out to Raiders and their comeback. That try at the end, amazing. KO Weeks, very special. Matt Timoko, same thing. And then Tamale on the left. They're all these guys in the outside backs are putting in work. They've got the attacking flair as well. So shout out to them. And Tamale up to 514k now with a few good games in a row. Almost sold him a few weeks ago, so I'm glad I didn't, and played him both weeks. 52 is a shining light in the side there for him to get those tries. He's just so strong one-on-one, which is awesome. And he did outscore Fogarty. So, one of my only bright spots this week was Fogarty not getting a try and 70. But as we've said, with him, he's going to get some goals. If he doesn't get try assists, he's getting the base stats in tackles and whatever else. But he actually ran the footy a decent amount, 74 metres. Kick metres were a bit down. Missed tackles were up a little bit as well. So for this to be like a low game for him, really, really good news there. Jerome Hughes, 46 for him. Actually, and Huddy Young, we're going to say, didn't score a try this week again, back-to-back. Hughes, 46, such a good price now, 544. If you want a half and you don't need one for round 12, then I do think it's a good time to buy him. It's not like his price is going to go down any further. Back-to-back 40 odds. He's pretty well at what his low is going to be this season. And the run is solid over the next period of time there. The problem only being round 12, round 15, they miss. Horsburgh, 43, 49 minutes. Did have the try saver, which was good. 4 missed tackles was a tough one, plus the error. Only the one offload, so a bit of a lower game PPM-wise for him, and hope he's all good. If he's not, we probably think he's going to make Origin. There's not a lot of clear out-and-out forwards. We know he's been there before as well, so that's kind of the worry. Or you just use him to loop this week if he is out. We will see in team list tomorrow there. But yeah, either way with Horse on that one, he's probably going to be a sell if he makes Origin, so up to you there. Can trade him to his mate in crime there, and Joe Tups. Pappenhausen, 42. Yeah, kind of the game for him if it doesn't go perfect, but got the line break, got the try. To be honest, I was very happy with the 205 metres, so if you can get that every week, I think he'll average closer to that 50 mark, which is great. And then Hosking, another 47 minutes, 38 points was good. Blore for 33 and 85 was a bit low. He's kind of been up and down this season with that. Munster, 6 missed tackles in the end. He was going pretty good, I think 19 first 20-odd minutes, 30 minutes, and then really slowed down, unfortunately. Got that try assist early. Got the penalty in that one as well. So neg 14, it's just part of his game at the moment. And got the 60-odd last week, but back down to 31, and is pretty easy to sell over the next few weeks. But, do you need him as a green dot this week with heaps of outs if you've got Preston's, Horsburgh, Mamo, 3 or 4 Roosters? It can be tough. And Starling with 30 for him in the 70 minutes is really, really shocking, to be honest. I've got him in Dream Team and Supercoach, so I follow along with him a bit, and that really hurts those. I've been telling people in these videos. I don't know if too many people have him. I haven't seen him in many teams. Still at 4.8% owned, but been saying to hold him because he's doing a good job, averaging 45 in a position that's been pretty tough, apart from Aaron Clark at the moment. And this does make it harder to hold through another couple of weeks and grit the teeth when guys like Riley Smith came out and got 54 this week. So for Starling, tough one. I still think you can hold, but if you do want to move on, I understand. If you want to drop down to Riley or go up to Clark, I do get it. Seb Chris, the only one of the outside backs not to have a line break, but thankfully he was the cutout man for our boy Tamale. Actually, and Savage on the other side. Scratch that. Ethan Strange, 18. He passed the ball to Tamale, so that was lovely. Owen Paddy, still 15 minutes, so yeah, low on that front. Wish up, get him back down to 300k for when something happens in those halves. He's going to be a fun one, but they don't play 12 and 15, so that does make it a little bit hard there. But I just wanted to just quick chat about a few of the games and check the ladder and go through all that there. But you can see here, Fogarty saying he couldn't sleep. He's determined to repay Stewart before he exits, and they've just had a great season. I hope they continue on because it's, they've been fun to watch. Sharks and Eels. Sharks still not really dominating. Eels just okay. Unfortunately, just letting too many points in at the moment. Dolphins, a bit disappointing in that one, and a shout out to the Roosters for actually being able to get back-to-back wins. Rabbitohs just decimated, so well done to Knights on that one. They play the Titans this week, so I'm expecting a bit of a right-side masterclass from guys like Gagai on the right side. Will they push left more? It did look like defensively the Titans were a bit better on that on their right-hand side. We'll see what happens with Weaver out and his foreign back and who they select there, with Campbell being back soon as well. Warriors just getting out to too much of a lead, and Cowboys just letting in too much defensively to come back. And their attack looks awesome when it gets going, but the Warriors are too good of a team to give them that head start. Tigers and Dragons, it was a bit of a back and forth with that one, and the Tigers really come away with a massive win there. It's a tough loss for Dragons, and it was a really it was a touch and go one for each side, and for Tigers to come away with the 2 points 2 weeks in a row in these types of close affairs, it's just massive for the club. Bulldogs did the job against the Titans, and the Broncos just absolutely too up and down, with the Panthers being very dominant in this one and showing their class, and can they go back to back is going to be the question there. And the Storm just not playing great at the moment, and the Raiders taking their opportunities, which has been awesome for them in that one. Now, quick ladder check just to finish this one off, and a big thanks to everyone who's tuned in tonight there, and we'll get Mitchie's video out there tomorrow, or Matt, or whoever's doing it. I'll talk to them after this. Doggies got their win, 7 wins along with Raiders, so congrats to those guys. Doggies have the one less loss with Raiders not having a bye yet, and that's what leaves them in second there, with Warriors with the 6 wins and 2 losses. Then it gets to the guys that are a bit closer to 500 there as an NBA term, and the Warriors today, man, that's actually one of my favorite wins, to be honest. There, at Steph Curry at 37, just showing his want, his desire, his determination to win in these moments, knowing how tough the next series is going to be and all that sort of stuff, and having won 4 chips to still fight that hard against a young team was very impressive, and the whole squad, and I'm happy for Buddy. That was so fun to watch today, and they're the moments that you live for as a sports fan as well. And to be honest, guys, I actually do love the Golden State Warriors a lot more than I do my Cowboys. The guys are with me on the weekend. I didn't have Drinky, and he was putting on tries for the Cows. I think we're down like 20 at the time, and I'm just like in the dumps because Drinky's just involved in everything. It just shows the deep love I don't have for Cows unless they're like really flying, and they're a bit up and down this year with 4 wins, 4 losses there. But yeah, Storm, they'll work it out. They'll be a top 4 team, but Broncos to still be in 5th. They're just they look great one week and terrible the next. So who knows what the solution is to that one? Does Ezra Mam come back? Sharkies, tough. A good win for them to get them, to keep them in that top 8 there. But they need to win a few more of those closer matchups. You got Eagles, Tigers in that 8, and then Roosters on the rise there. Cowboys, that tough loss there keeps them in 9th. Knights are still only 1 win behind the Cowboys there in that 9th spot, so they're in a position to move up. And then Panthers, you're only 3 and 6. Could very quickly get to that 6 and 6, which will put them close to that 8, which is completely fine. And the tough teams at the moment, we'll discuss in tomorrow's impact of the next 3 video. Thanks for coming along to those 3 games. Fantasy tip, all the good stuff. Appreciate it, guys. Catch you in the next one.